buckle up because the landscape of Hollywood is shifting right before our eyes. We are starting with a massive move from the University of Southern California as they officially launch the Institute for Actor-Driven Innovation. Dean Emily Roxworthy and Chair Tom Polos are stepping up to bridge the gap between human performers and artificial intelligence, teaching students how to harness this tech rather than fear it. It is a bold, high-stakes experiment to see if the next generation of actors can actually thrive in an AI-powered world.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Next, we have a major reality check coming from the top of the AI video industry. Runway CEO Cristóbal Valenzuela is doubling down on his controversial vision for the future of cinema. He is actively pushing studios to trade those massive $100 million blockbusters for 50 smaller, AI-assisted productions to maximize their chances of finding a hit. It is a numbers game that is already fueling projects like the upcoming film Bitcoin, Killing Satoshi, and it is sparking a fiery debate about the very definition of creative art. Then, we're taking a trip back to the golden age of cinema to celebrate the fantasy masterpieces that shaped the industry forever. From the emotional depth of James Stewart in It Is a Wonderful Life to the groundbreaking stop-motion magic in Jason and the Argonauts, we are looking at 7 iconic films that still hold their own today. Whether you are a fan of King Kong or The Wizard of Oz, these classics prove that true imagination never goes out of style. Finally, we are pulling back the curtain on the strange and secret world of Eric Swalwell. We are diving into how the disgraced congressman balanced a high-profile political career with a secret life as a Hollywood producer, rubbing elbows with stars while linked to questionable intelligence-backed firms. It is a wild story of power, influence, and a spectacular fall from grace that you have to see to believe. For all the latest updates on these stories and more, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. For years, the word AI in Hollywood has been treated like a 4-letter word, a digital thief lurking in the shadows, waiting to swipe jobs and replace the very soul of human performance. But what if, instead of running from the monster, you learned how to command it? USC's School of Dramatic Arts just made a massive power move by launching the Institute for Actor-Driven Innovation, and honestly, it might be the first time we've seen a major institution try to turn the tables in favor of the performer. Dean Emily Roxworthy isn't naive about the fear surrounding this technology. She knows actors have been on the losing end of the AI revolution, but this new initiative is designed to flip the script. Imagine an acting student practicing scenes with a digital resurrection of Laurence Olivier, or having an AI agent that actually scans industry breakdowns for you around the clock. It's an ambitious, slightly wild vision, but it's rooted in the idea that AI shouldn't just be a tool for corporations. It should be a tool for artists to augment their own careers. Under the leadership of Tom Polos, who, by the way, has the incredible dual life of being a USC chair and a hype man for the Dodgers, the Institute is positioning itself as a sandbox for the future. They are bringing in industry heavyweights like Adobe and even planning joint classes with law schools to teach students how to legally protect their own likenesses. It's not about replacing the human element, it's about giving actors a toolkit to survive in an increasingly synthetic landscape. Critics might argue that this could water down the craft before it even begins, but Roxworthy's stance is refreshingly pragmatic. We're currently operating in a fear-based reality, and the only way to beat that is through literacy and control. Whether this institute becomes a breeding ground for a new generation of tech-savvy icons or just an experimental footnote, one thing is certain. The industry is changing, and USC is betting that the smartest move is to stop playing defense and start leading the charge. What do you think? Is AI the ultimate career booster for actors, or is this the beginning of the end for the human touch in drama? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button if you want more updates on how tech is reshaping Hollywood, and remember, in a world of algorithms, your humanity is your most valuable asset. Don't let the machine drown it out. What if I told you the next generation of cinema wouldn't be defined by a single $100 million blockbuster, but by a flood of 50 smaller, AI-generated experiments? It sounds like a tech bro pipe dream, but it is the explicit vision of Cristóbal Valenzuela, the CEO of the $5 billion videogen startup, Runway. At the recent Semaphore World Economy Summit, Valenzuela dropped a bomb that is currently sending shockwaves through Hollywood. He argued that the current model of betting the house on one massive feature film is fundamentally broken. Instead, he believes studios should treat film like the publishing industry, churning out high volumes of content to increase the statistical probability of finding a hit. It is an argument that shifts film from being an exercise in artistic curation to a cold, hard numbers game. Now, for those of you who treasure the craft of filmmaking, this probably sounds like a nightmare. The traditional industry is built on the idea that a movie is an authored vision, not a machine-generated commodity. But Valenzuela claims the skepticism is fading. He argues that we are moving past the fear stage and into the era of practical utility. And he is not just talking theory. We are already seeing this play out with projects like the upcoming Bitcoin, Killing Satoshi, where AI allegedly slashed production costs from a potential $300 million down to 70. From Amazon to Sony, the giants are already tinkering with AI in pre-production, visual effects, and even screenwriting. Valenzuela's philosophy is simple. Creativity shouldn't be gated by massive budgets. He points to the book industry, arguing that even if we produce millions of books annually, more than anyone could ever read, the world is better for it because it democratizes storytelling. But here is the critical question: is more actually better? Does flooding the market with AI-generated content help us find new masterpieces, or just bury us in a sea of digital noise? Runway believes the best movies haven't been made yet, because the billions of people who previously lacked the resources to create now have the keys to the kingdom. Whether you view this as the democratization of art or the end of cinema as we know it, one thing is certain: the genie is out of the bottle. Do you think AI will liberate the next generation of filmmakers, or are we destined to drown in a sea of algorithmically generated content? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more deep dives into the tech changing our world. After all, if the machine can write the script, perhaps it is time we start writing a new future for ourselves. Ever feel like today's CGI-heavy blockbusters are missing a certain, I don't know, soul? We live in an era of polished pixels, but there's a raw, tactile magic to old Hollywood fantasy that modern green screens just can't replicate. From the 1940s through the 70s, filmmakers relied on imagination and practical craft to build worlds that still feel alive today. Today, we are counting down 7 fantasy classics that haven't lost their touch, and trust me, the top spot is non-negotiable. Let's kick things off with the ultimate holiday staple. It's a Wonderful Life asterisk. 80 years later, and this film still punches you right in the gut in the best way possible. Watching George Bailey realize his worth isn't just a seasonal ritual, it's a masterclass in human connection. It's pure hopecore before that was even a word. Next, if you crave that classic sword and sorcery grit, look no further than 1962's Jack the Giant Killer. Sure, the effects look a bit quaint by modern standards, but it captures the pure, high-stakes spirit of folklore that modern movies often overcomplicate. Then things get weird, in the best way, with Ingmar Bergman's The Seventh Seal. This isn't just a movie, it's a philosophical heavyweight. Watching a knight play chess against death for his own soul is as haunting now as it was then. It makes you wonder, in a world of uncertainty, what gives our lives meaning? Moving from the existential to the epic, we have Jason and the Argonauts. If you want to see why practical effects are an art form, just look at Ray Harryhausen's stop-motion work. It's legendary for a reason, and frankly, it still puts some modern CGI to shame. And how could we talk about monsters without the grandfather of them all? 1933's King Kong isn't just a creature feature, it's a tragedy. That fragile, strange bond between Ann Darrow and the giant ape remains one of the most compelling dynamics in cinematic history. Then there's The Thief of Baghdad asterisk, a film so perfectly crafted that it still boasts a 100% critics rating. Its influence on fantasy tropes, and even Disney's asterisk Aladdin asterisk, is undeniable. Finally, taking the top spot, we have the undisputed goat of fantasy cinema, the Wizard of Oz asterisk. This isn't just a movie, it's a universal touchstone. From Judy Garland's iconic performance to the sheer ambition of the production, it's a perfect film. It's a reminder that no matter how far we wander, there's an emotional core we all search for. Which one of these timeless classics is your personal favorite? Is there one you think we missed? Drop a comment below and join the conversation over at the Comic Book Forum. Cinema has evolved, but honestly, it's hard to beat the legends. Imagine being an average tourist trying to catch a glimpse of the set of HBO's massive hit, The White Lotus. You'd probably get kicked out in seconds by security. But when Eric Swalwell strolled onto that set in Thailand, he wasn't just welcomed. He was treated like industry royalty. This wasn't just a vacation. It was a window into the bizarre, high-stakes double life of a man who was supposed to be serving his constituents in California, not pitching scripts in Hollywood. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the rapid, scandal-ridden collapse of Eric Swalwell, the disgraced congressman who traded his legislative power for a shot at the silver screen. For years, Swalwell walked a thin line that few politicians ever dare to cross. While he was actively representing the 14th District and eventually launching a run for governor, he was moonlighting as a movie producer. We aren't talking about a side hobby here. He was setting up deals at HBO and rubbing shoulders with titans like Sean Penn and David Geffen. But here's the kicker. While he was networking at ritzy pre-Oscar bashes or crashing at billionaire Stephen Klubeck's Beverly Hills mansion, he was supposed to be working for you. One source famously remarked, "You have 3 kids in DC, you represent a district in Northern California, and yet you are always here in LA." It makes you wonder, was he a public servant or just a guy trying to get his IMDb page updated? Things get even murkier when you look at the paper trail. Financial disclosures revealed that Swalwell pulled in over $60,000 from a firm called Smersh LLC, a company founded by former CIA officers. When asked if he had permission to be a Hollywood producer, Swalwell pointed the finger at Nancy Pelosi, claiming she gave him the green light. Her camp, they flatly deny it. And honestly, even if she had, ethics experts agree that wouldn't have bypassed the rules he was supposed to follow. This is a man who was removed from the House Intelligence Committee due to concerns over his ties to a suspected Chinese spy, yet he was busy producing dramas about government authenticity. You couldn't write a script this ironic if you tried. But the facade eventually crumbled. As the allegations of sexual assault emerged, some of which allegedly occurred right around the time he was living the high life on the White Lotus set, the entertainment industry wasted no time distancing itself. His film, Words of War, flopped so hard it only pulled in $574 worldwide. That's not a typo. It's a spectacular failure that mirrors his political career's sudden, disgraceful end. From serving on the House Intelligence Committee to fighting off severe criminal allegations and bowing out of the gubernatorial race, Swalwell's story is a cautionary tale of what happens when ambition ignores accountability. So, what does this tell us about the blurred lines between Washington and Hollywood? It seems the only thing more scripted than the dramas Swalwell was producing was the political performance he put on for his voters. It's a messy, uncomfortable end to a career that promised so much and delivered almost nothing but controversy. Do you think politicians should be allowed to chase Hollywood dreams while in office, or is this just another sign that our system is completely broken? Drop a comment below and let me know your take. Thanks for watching, and remember, in the world of politics, the final cut is always the most brutal.